speak, then you won't get spoken to. People only see you when you up, then they notice you. Trying to be a legend, create lines is quotable. Only the real shall last, and I only know a few. People when they feelings always acting emotional. Ain't about a check, then it ain't negotiable. Gotta show respect to the people that's posting you. Soon to be on posters posted up like the older dudes.
Now we aging like fine wine, how we supposed to do. Peep the shade on the timelines, this time posted cool. Shit is black and white like photos from a disposable. Certain situations you ain't end up uncontrollable. All up in their head, I be so confused. I just brush it off, peep the shoulder moves. We all got the same 24, so it's no excuse. Switch it up, we could rap or produce. The things you can't have is forbidden fruit.
Well, first of all, listen, it's interesting about all these young guys today. They never call on us and say, hey, thanks for the kind word and tell me how great a player I am. But when they play like crap and we call them out, we don't know what we're talking about. Listen, I'm easy to find.
Happy Friday, ladies and gentlemen. It is your host, Nathan Snell of Big Nate Sports Talk. This is episode 10, season 10, episode 7. I'm not mistaken of the podcast. I do apologize. I have my microphone muted. Hope you're all doing well. Hope you all had a great work week. Hope everyone had a great first week of school, college, high school, no matter what, wherever you started. Hope it was a great first week. Those that are getting ready to start school next week or work, I wish you all the best, a wonderful, healthy, and great semester. Before we get into the video, there is a few things I would like to say up front. So the previous two videos for the Ravens and the Washington Commanders videos, those are already uploaded. Check those out if you hadn't already. The Washington Mystics exit interviews, I have posted those on my YouTube channel, One Nathan Snell. Check those out. I do appreciate the lot of feedback I got on those. The only thing about the exit interviews, Coach Tease has not given his yet. We're still waiting on that immediate availability call. So the moment it's out, I will have my end of the season Washington Mystic review. But other than that, that's pretty much what's coming down the pipe. Like I said, preseason for the NFL is beginning to wrap up, and we're going to get right into week 1. We're now getting into round 2 of the WNBA playoffs. And with that being said, I got to bring back my guy, Mr. Brenden Potts. Brenden, what's going on, sir?
Hey, man. How you doing? Having a good week?
It's been a great week so far. I can't complain. How about yourself?
Yeah, man. Like you said, first week of school, so it's been fun. Good, like relaxed first week, and ready for the grind.
That's what I love to hear. Same here. That's what I love to hear. Ladies and gentlemen, it's round 2, it's the semifinals. But before we painfully move on to the semifinals, 2 teams after a great game 2 literally are eliminated.
What's that? Playoffs? Don't talk about it. Playoffs? You kidding me? Playoffs? I just hope we can win a game. Another game.
The Connecticut Sun versus the New York Liberty. We're going to start with that game. The Chicago Sky painfully beat the New York Liberty 90-72.
I just don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. This is disgusting. It's disgraceful. It's embarrassing. And I'm ticked off. It don't make any sense. This is unacceptable. Unacceptable. And something needs to be done about it. Quick, fast, and in a hurry.
Brenden, what were your thoughts on this painful game 3?
Yeah, Chicago. I think they proved something in this in these last 2 games. They had a slip up in game 1, and then they came out and they proved that they could bounce back from this type of thing. And you could even see that in the middle of game 3. That was kind of the pinnacle of the entire series. They went on a run to get a pretty good lead, and then New York came in. I think they got it to like a 1 or 2 possession game, and then Chicago just came out and they just looked like a championship team and a team that belongs here in this top 4. But I give my credit to New York. I At the beginning of the season I did have them as my dark horse. Um, they have a lot of young talent surrounding Sabrina Ionescu, and Sabrina Ionescu is one of those players in this league that will compete for MVP one day in the near future, but she needs a team around her to compete for a championship. She will only get better, praying that she doesn't suffer any more injuries. Um, she will only get better, and she will run, or I'm sorry, the New York Liberty will run as she does. If she gets better, the Liberty will get better, and they are a great storyline team where they have a bunch of like good young players that you get excited about, like Hanju, Maureen Johannes, who I hope uh, she'll find a home, whether it's in New York or wherever. But yeah, a lot of things to love about this New York team.
Painfully, I'm sorry, I still haven't recovered from last year's playoffs because the Suns should have been in the finals, and the Phoenix should have beat Chicago, but that I'm let it go. You pretty much nailed it on the head, Brendan. I mean, Chicago was in control. I mean, just except the first 3 minutes of the first quarter. I mean, offensively, looking at this box score, I'm sorry. Like, you're not going to win basketball games where you shot the ball 69, you've 43.5%. You've turned the ball over 14 times. You've taken 22 threes. You only made 7. That's not winning you basketball games.
I mean, this is some bad stuff. I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know what I'm going to say. I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know how much more of this I can take. I just don't know. This is ridiculous. Oh, Lord.
I mean, like, when you look at Sabrina Ionescu, who struggled mildly in the first half, she just had 7 points. Natasha Howard wasn't much damn better. I mean, your girl Johannes was 3 of 3. I mean, I just it looked like the way to describe the game 3 with the New York Liberty. Look at the end of the first half. I mean, just offensively, just struggling, and then like the fact that they allowed a transition basket to Azare Stevens to end the quarter.
What the hell are you doing? What the hell are you doing?
I mean, look, they didn't give up. They were frustrated. They did cut the lead to 5. I just think that Chicago, like you said, they turned it up a notch, and New York they were checked.
I think you got to give credit to them too, because I like how you said they didn't give up in this game. They had as much of a roller coaster season as you could have had for a playoff team. I mean, technically besides Phoenix, but I'd say New York was a bigger roller coaster. They started out low and disappointing, and then it was what's wrong with the Liberty? How do they improve? Then they figured it out. Then they improved and they got better, and then they started winning. And people were on the dark horse playoff team bus, and then they just sunk right back down to bad, terrible, horrible. I was just like, well, what the hell went wrong? And they squeaked. They're one of those teams that squeaked into the playoffs like the Phoenix Mercury did, and it's because they never gave up. And I credit that solely on the hiring of Sandy Brondello. I am the
Yep.
biggest fan of that hiring for this team. And first thing I said was, or when she was hired, was this is going to be a huge signing for Sabrina Ionescu. I will bang that drum as much as I can.
I second those thoughts. Honestly and truthfully, there are no more victories in the playoffs. I mean, they, like you said, they pushed the defending champs. I mean, the fact that it was a one possession game just in the fourth quarter. They just had opportunities that just didn't happen. I mean, like the Sky were a better team. Like Van Quigley, Candace Parker, Colette Copper. Like it's bad enough the five that those the starting five, you got to contain them, and then let's not forget about their bench. Like they can overwhelm you on both sides of the ball, and they can take the life out of you. Seeing it firsthand as watching them play the Washington Mystics, like the off season for New York, everybody has to get back healthy. I think that's the first thing. Sabrina Ionescu, Steffi Dolson, Natasha Howard, Benaja Laney are all under contract. So I definitely think you can build off of this team. I'm kind of now confused. Maybe when you look at this past draft, maybe Nayara Sabli, don't really think they should have went with her. I can understand. No, I take it back. I can see why they picked her, but I know they've got a first round pick and a third round pick. So I'm curious to see what they do this offseason with the free agency and the draft.
Something you didn't talk about was they have to get their foreign players back, Johannes and Hanju, and I'm pretty sure they knew Sabali was going to be hurt or going to be out for the season when they drafted her. I think I saw uh, Jonathan Kopp, the GM, say that when they first drafted her. Um, so, assuming she comes back next year, then there you go. But don't, I obviously don't think they planned on Hanju being Hanju or um, Marine Johannes. Marine Johannes, I'm confused about because I don't think she's under contract, but they had her on the suspended list. I think it's because she just wanted to play internationally, which I totally understand that. Um, but yeah, my key for them is they need to get those two players back and get healthy as well. Because I think the your reasoning on Sabali is because they weren't planning on Hanju being Hanju.
I agree. That's well said. We're going to transition to the next game. The Connecticut Sun beat the Dallas Wings 78-58.
What was that? What the hell was that? I'm sorry the H words and the D words aren't appropriate over the airwaves, but it's going to be today. I don't know how much more of this I can take. How in God's name?
I've misspoken. It's 73-58. Brenden, give me your thoughts on this game.
Oh man, I mean, why can't WNBA fans get their wish? Like, we just wanted an upset. Like, a majority of WNBA fans, especially Aces fans, wanted the Mystics to beat the Storm. They couldn't get that, and that's something that I didn't want, obviously. But yeah, I would have liked to see New York beat Chicago. That didn't happen. Okay, I can accept that. But you can't give me Dallas over Connecticut. Like, what is going on? And I mean, there's just so much that I want to unpack about Connecticut, but I want to do it in the series preview between Chicago and Connecticut.
Where do I begin? Well, they got their first playoff win since 2015, since they moved to Dallas. I mean, Connecticut's physicality just wore them out as the game progressed. I mean, Isabel Harrison, I hope she's doing well. She suffered an ankle injury. When I look at this box score for Dallas, other than Marina Mabry, there's nobody else there. I mean, like when you got a 3 for 8, a 2 for 5, 0 for 4, 2 of 7, 0 for 3, like.
I mean, this is some bad stuff. I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know what I'm going to say. I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know how much more of this I can take. I just don't know. This is ridiculous. Oh, Lord.
You stink. Let me just get that out the way. You stink.
I really don't know how to really take this game. I mean, yeah, Tiara McCown led the team in rebounds. Marina Mabry had 20 points, but they also combined for 13 of the 19 turnovers. Like, I ain't gonna lie. Like, I did at the beginning of the season say Dallas would make the playoffs, especially with this coming into this year, with the roster, because I'm confused on. You drafted Charlie Collier with the number 1 overall pick, and then you took Awak Kyrie, the same draft, and then turned around. You traded for Tiara McCowan. That really mind boggled me. And then you made the playoffs 500. I mean, I'm not going to say it was a failure. I think it's a stepping stone for Dallas. They couldn't do anything in free agency because they had no money. Satu Sabally had an up and down season with injuries that was mired by the injuries. And like I said, Charlie and Awak, they couldn't get into Vicky's rotation. I mean,
Charlie Collier is just, I'm not the only WNBA fan saying this, but Charlie Collier has just been the most disappointing number 1 draft pick in so I haven't been a fan that long, but in my WNBA fandom history, she's definitely been the most disappointing number one pick, and it's not even her fault either. It's just they don't want to play her. And we were talking about New York and how Sabrina or the team runs on Sabrina and how that can be a good thing. Here's where it gets bad. Here's the bad thing about a team running through here. The team runs through Dallas runs through Arike, and when she goes, Dallas goes. That's where they will go. And Arike, unfortunate for her, she got injured I believe at the end of the regular season. But now she's not going to be in the playoffs. And then I feel like I it was determined for like 2 or 3 weeks that she was going to be out of the first round. Okay, that's fine. So you tie it up, going to Dallas. I believe Dallas won the first game. No, they won the second game. I'm sorry. So that makes my point even clearer. I feel like Arike was rushed back, and that goes on to make even less sense because she was barely played in a non-competition. Dallas is Dallas is one of the most confusing franchises besides I'd probably say LA. Like they're so poorly run. And they get away with it because they're in the playoffs.
You hit it right there in the head. I mean, like when you look, those that I named that really just the way this roster was just constructed. I mean, it's a mixed bag. Look at 2021, and then this year. Like everybody, you look at Marina Mabry took a step forward. Next year, I'm going to call it Marina Mabry is an all-star.
Guaranteed.
Like, that's what I'm looking for in my core pieces. Tara McCowan, next year, will be a top 5 candidate for Defensive Player of the Year.
Guaranteed.
I mean, and this was arguably Alicia Gray's best season, shooting better than 40% from 3. Those are things you want to see from your core. They won the last 7 of their 11 games, and mostly without Arike or Satu in that lineup. But I think what really hurts like, and you said it. I think what hurts Dallas is honestly and truthfully, when you signed Arike to that massive contract, that's the player you're going to build around, and you're still waiting for the others around her to determine that. And this year, you just saw this up and down. And if I'm trying to compete for a championship, we got something has to give.
I'll add one more thing too. I said or the team runs through Arike, and I mean that's correct, but that's on the court and off the court as well. Arike needs to get her attitude in check because I believe she missed a free throw, and then I think that's the game that she kicked the scoreboard, but
Against the Sparks. Yeah.
Yeah. I was talking with my friend who's also a Storm fan, and she goes, I want that to happen against my team. Like I want to see it happen against my team, and then it did. Like and I was like, there you go, you got your wish. But like, I know that was so long ago, but like, it comes back to haunt you. These types of things, like, it makes your team have a bad reputation. And if you don't believe me, ask LA with Liz Cambage. So it's not just on the court; it's off the court as well with Enrique.
I think also too some of that comes back to Vicky Johnson. I think that you can tell she had some control over the locker room, but I think that there's a point where you've got to sit down with your star player and your head coach, and you got to put the Eagles have to go be put to the side. Not just that. I mean, Isabel Harrison. We've seen her on Twitter and on TikTok kind of openly express her feelings about her role with this season. But I ain't gonna lie though. I mean, like this off season, if they handle it poorly, they could be below 500. Because I'm just gonna break it down to y'all. Dallas has some decisions to make. Marina Mabry and Tiara McCalvin will be free agents. Somebody gonna pay them this offseason. If it's Dallas, if it ain't Dallas, it's gonna be somebody. I mean, obviously, Dallas would have to match their contracts, but they're gonna command some money. And Isabella Harrison is also gonna be a free agent. If she wants to take a pay cut, that's up to her. But you still have Charlie Collier. But I think Charlie, from what I've seen and heard on what I've seen and what I've heard, like I think she kind of wants to move on from Dallas. And then also too, we didn't even talk about Bella Allaire because she set out this whole season for personal reasons. So Dallas is making good progress as an organization, but this offseason determines what they look like going forward.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think Enrique, I'm not sure exactly how many years he's under contract as of this next season, but I think she has the same status as I think Marina Mabry and Enrique have the same status. Like you said, Marina's going to command her money and like command to be paid, rightfully so. I think Enrique is going to get to a point if Dallas doesn't provide a reasonable step forward. Like I don't want to be here. And she wants to compete. She's one of those players like Artina Charles who wants to win. She wants to win, and she's like that. And I have respect for those players.
I definitely agree. We're going to transition into the WNBA awards, but we'll be right back with this 30-second break. And we're back. We're going to talk about the WNBA awards that will have been announced so far. Rookie of the Year. Brenden, do you want to take a guess who was named Rookie of the Year?
Let's see. I'm going to guess it was not Sam Thomas.
You're not right for that. Ryan Howard, ladies and gentlemen.
I was trying to think of her name. I couldn't think of her name off the top of my head. I'm like, oh yeah, it's Sam Thomas.
Ryan Howard was named WNBA Rookie of the Year 2022. Congratulations, Ryan. What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, predetermined. I kind of knew she was going to be a rookie of the year. I believe she got all but 3 votes. The other two were Shakira Austin and I believe it was Queen Ekpo for the last one. But Ryan Howard, the thing that determined it for me, I've had Ryan Howard as my rookie of the year for a long time. It started or it was solidified when she became an All Star. When she was announced as an All Star, I said, okay, she's gonna win rookie of the year. That's what I think. And it's actually funny. A couple days later, I went and saw her in person, which that was really cool. So yeah, congratulations to Ryan Howard. She's one of those number one picks that actually comes in and backs it up. And she did that, and I congratulate her.
I second those thoughts. Ryan Howard is a generational talent, drafted by the Atlanta Dream for the number one overall pick. Um, Definitely change, not just alongside not just Ryan, but Tanisha Wright, Renee Montgomery. They changed the culture with the Atlanta. Nobody expected the Atlanta Dream to be here where they're at this season, to be the last game of the season to make the playoffs. The future's bright for Atlanta. And Ryan Howard definitely has some credit for that. So I'm really proud of her, and sky's the limit for her. Next award was the Kim Parrott Sportsman Award, and Sylvia Fowles was named is the recipient of this award. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, unfortunately, this was the only year I had said that I've been a WNBA fan for 3 seasons. This is the only year that I've like focused on watching Sylvia Fowles. Unfortunately, that was the case being her last year of her career. But um, I with that I've heard and I've listened to how she is on and off the court, and it just brings me so much happiness and sadness at the same time because she's leaving us. And she is. I can't think of anyone more deserving of this type of award than Sylvia Fowles, and she she very much deserves it. And congratulations to her.
Yeah, I second those thoughts. I had the opportunity to see Sil. It was on the 17th of July when they played the Washington Mystics here. So why not let her go out with that with grace? Just what she's done for the game, this her community, city of Minnesota. That's not going to go unnoticed. It's going to be weird next year when she's not here. So congratulations, Sil. Um, well deserved. All WNBA rookie team. No, this is not the AP versions. Um, I was pretty much confident with this all rookie team. I wish there was a second WNBA rookie all rookie team, but Ryan Howard, Alyssa Smith, Shakira Austin, Queen Egbo, and Rebecca Gardner were named to the all WNBA rookie team. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I saw a post earlier today about posts on Twitter about Rebecca Gardner and they're like, oh yeah, Rebecca Gardner's on the rookie team, and when someone is good, or someone is good, when you look at that post and go, wait, Gardner's a rookie, like Rebecca Gardner is one of my favorite from this class of uh, from this class of rookies, but I think it's pretty spot on. We've talked about AP doesn't know what they're watching, if they're watching at all. They're probably they're probably upset behind their Twitter fingers that Sam Thomas didn't make this team, but that's fine.
I'm not mad at this list at all. I mean, I gave Shakira Austin her flowers on Twitter. I'm not mad at it at all. Queen Enegbo, actually, I'm not gonna lie, she proved me wrong. I actually gave a draft. I did a draft grade for this past draft, and I actually gave it a D plus because I was like, this is not the Pac-12. Like I said, oh, her footwork is there's going to be some struggling, and for the most part, she handled her own. She actually proved me wrong. So, Queen and Egbo, I do apologize. Her and Alyssa Smith, that's going to be an interesting front court for years to come. Rebecca Gardner is definitely the example of somebody that. Hey, Lucinda, good to see you. Definitely is an example of putting in the hard work, and when one door closes, another opens. Her story of just getting here to the W, it's been a crazy one, and she's now the oldest rookie to be named to an All Rookie team. So credit James Wade and the Chicago Sky for really taking a chance on her because she can definitely play the game of basketball. So
Yeah, I wanted to give my credit to Shakira Austin. I'm a big fan of hers, and I think she played really well this season and earned her way to the starting lineup, rightfully so. And you know, she played in her first playoff series, so I mean, against a championship contending team, like that's a status game or series that you want to play in Seattle. So give all the credit to her, and she I feel like Shakira needs to be more confident in herself. Like, don't get too down on yourself. Like, I know you wanna get better and be better. Um, and like they all do. Like, that's a common theme. But like, acknowledge your strengths more than your weaknesses for Shakira, and that's what I found the most in this playoff series.
we're going to transition really quick. Coach of the year was Becky Hammon. I know I spelled her name wrong. I do apologize. Becky Hammon, Coach of the Year for the Las Vegas Aces, and Executive of the Year, Mr. James Wade, for Becky Hammon, for just what she did in Vegas. I mean, to have the start that they had, nobody envisioned that, honestly, and I'm very, very proud of the work she's done. The first former WNBA player to become Coach of the Year. I mean, is immaculate. Just says the work that she's put in, and that the players have Asia Wilson, Derek Hamby, they've all bought into her. So I'm happy for her.
Yeah, I said when she was first hired, I said something. I've been a big NBA fan for years, and when Becky Hammon came into the limelight of being under Greg Popovich's wing, and maybe or there were talks about her being a coach in the NBA, and you know, being the first woman coach to be in the NBA, and then she got interviewed by the Blazers, and then they chose Chauncey Billups, which is unfortunate for her, but then she got to spend time with Popovich. So I said a statement immediately after she got hired by Vegas. I said that is the last time she will be an assistant coach. Not in the WNBA, not in the NBA. That is the last time she will be an assistant coach is in San Antonio, because whether it's in the NBA or the WNBA, she will never be second fiddle to a head coach. Um, she will be the head coach. So I'm not surprised at all that she won this award. She's very deserving of this award. Am I surprised by their record and how good her team actually is? Yeah, kind of. Um, but I'm not surprised, and it's for that very reason that I was doubling down, tripling down, quadrupling down that Becky Hammond will never be an assistant coach ever again.
Yep, I agree with you. Just really quick on James Wade, just the work that he's done, some of the decision making. He made some great moves. He brought in Jolie Alliman, Emma Mieseman, the coaching staff that he has. Just the fact that they've brought into his system, and he's got the team. Now this team is getting older now. Van Quigley, Candace Parker, they're not getting any younger. I think he knows that. It's actually ironic that he was they're one game away from getting that lottery pick for next year, Phoenix, for trading for Diamond DeShields. So just big ups to James Wade, and just proud of the work that he's doing, especially as just not as the head coach, but as a GM. So I'm proud of that.
I think this this award, I have a couple feelings about this award. Number one is I think there were so little moves, whether it's in the off season or during the trade, meaning there were no trades during the season, that they're just like, all right, let's give it to someone who had a really great off season in James Wade, and he just won the championship. That's one side of the knife, but the other side is I feel like this could be a sneaky award thing for the off season because one half of the Vanderquicks is going to be a free agent next year. And how do I know that? Because she went to Gonzaga, and I'm trying to get her to Seattle. So, only reason I know that. But no, I think this could be a little sneaky recruiting thing to get that duo back together, which I don't see how it can't work.
I agree. We're going to take another 30-second break. We're going to get into the meat and potatoes of the semifinals preview. We'll be right back in these 30 seconds. And we are back. 30 seconds. We are now round 2 of the WNBA semifinals. And 4 teams down to 4. 4, ladies and gentlemen. And for the most part, I'll be honest, this is what I expected. I want to give Brenden the floor. The Las Vegas Aces versus the Seattle Storm. Brenden, it's all yours, buddy.
Yeah, so the Aces and the Storm. I wrote about this, and it just came out today. Very excited about this piece. It's a little preview of the series between the Storm and the Aces. We got two very good teams. We got best team in the league in the Las Vegas Aces. Then we got on the other side the Seattle Storm. This is going to be a great matchup. It's going to be a great series. I think it'll go to 5 games. On one side you got Vegas. You got so many things to worry about with an MVP contender in Asia Wilson. You got Kelsey Plum. You got Chelsea Gray, the point god. That's not what I would call her, but you got so many good pieces around this Vegas team, and we just got done talking about Becky Hammond, great coach there. And on the other side, you got Seattle with the big three. You got Sue Bird, Jewel Lloyd, Brianna Stewart, another MVP candidate as well. My personal winner for MVP. And then you got Tina Charles and hopefully Gabby Williams is able to come back in this series. Haven't heard anything yet on her status, um, but I think there are a couple of factors that are going to determine this series. I think the depth from the Storm and the lack of depth from the Aces are going to determine the series. The Aces don't play that deep. I believe they only play 7 deep um, with uh, with a couple of the rookies playing in garbage time. So I think that's going to be a big factor. And then obviously the Storm have a bunch of players coming off their bench. They got Brianne January, Tiffany Prince, Stephanie Talbot, Eddie McMcGore, et cetera, et cetera. So I think that's one factor. And then another factor is championship DNA. That's what I like to like to call this is like the Aces have the more superior team. I'm not afraid of coming out and saying that, but they don't have the championship DNA like the Storm have. The Storm have said all season, talking with Jewel Lloyd and Sue Bird and other players around the team, they know what they have here. They know what they have built here. They know what they are built to do, um, and they have their eyes set on winning championships. That's what they are here to do. And the Aces are here to do the same thing, but the Storm know how to do this. And I think that was one of the keys in beating Washington 2-0. Why that series was a sweep instead of 3 games is they know what they're built to do, and they're very good at adjusting in between games. And like I've come on here and said from Coach Quinn is that she calls these kinds of things a chess match, and she's backed that up. Keys to a specific game, I have 2 of them. One of them is offensive rebounding. That's something I forgot to put in my piece. But I think that's a very big key. I think that's something we didn't do um, in the Washington series, or really all season, is we didn't crash the glass, and I think that's one reason why we got Tina Charles. Um, so offensive rebounding. Another one is turnovers. We have to capitalize on turnovers. That's something I didn't think we did against Washington in the first game. Um, we eventually took advantage of it, or took advantage of that series another way. Um, so if we are fortunate to get turnovers with our top one of the top defenses in the league, we need to take advantage of them in transition, and I think that's going to be a big key, especially if Gabby Williams is healthy or not. So the last key, and I think this is most important, we need to defend that 3 point arc like our lives are on the line. And why I say this, and why I think this is it probably isn't most important than, or more important than offensive rebounding, honestly. But one of the reasons why I say this is the most important key for the Storm to win this series is ask Phoenix how important shooting the three or defending the three against Vegas is, because they lost, I believe, by 37, at least 30 points, because the Aces could not miss from 3. And if you're defending the 3 and they still make it, then that's fine. But with this kind of defense and the way that we run, um, we need to defend the 3. And I'm just gonna cut to the chase. We play zone defense majority of the time. Could be in the 50s, 40%, whatever. But we majority of the time we play zone defense. And the worst thing that can happen in the zone defense is you allow the 3 pointer. And we've been getting killed on that all season. So we need to find a way to defend the 3-point line by our or with our lives. And the last thing I say before I make this pick on this series is the alternative is going man. Well, if we go man, their starting center, I can't remember her name off the top of my head, but she just came in and for Dearica Hamby, and she
Teresa Passance.
yeah, correct. Actually, not her. I can't remember who.
Edge Shepard. Kirsten Bell.
No, that's a guard.
If they're gonna have a forward, Kristen Bell could play the 4 or the 3. It was an Asia Shepard.
It was not.
Teresa Passance.
It was.
Rapport. Iana Rapport.
Correct. Okay, so yeah, so once she was entered into the starting lineup, she the Aces haven't lost. So the key here is if we play zone, we can't allow the 3-point line, and that's the hardest thing to do in a zone. But if we play man, they are set up to have 2 bigs instead of Dearica Hamby, who we have a bigger lineup than if they start Hamby. They have said when she comes back that they are not going to start Hamby. So what's going to happen is if we play zone, we're going to allow the 3-point shot, and the Aces have a good chance of killing us that way. If we play man, we match up with 2 bigs on 2 bigs, and Tina Charles is not the best defender in the league. And the negative part about that is they're going to bring Asia Wilson up to the top of the 3-point arc, which is going to force Tina Charles to guard her 1-on-1. So then it's going to switch into our zone where Stewie is going to help, and Tina is going to have to fend for herself. And bad news for us, Asia Wilson has a 3-point shot somewhat. So, just little things that we need to fix. And I think game 1 is going to be a huge teaching point for this Storm team because of that adjusting thing. So, with all of that being said, I know that was long, but with all that being said, I am going to pick the Seattle Storm in 5.
Guaranteed.
I think this will go the distance, and I'm gonna pick the Storm in 5. And whether I did pick the Storm or the Aces in this series, I think this winner wins the whole thing.
Guaranteed.
Well, let me see. You have 7 first-round picks, number 1 overall picks. This is going to be an MVP battle. Asia Wilson, Brandon Stewart, just like Brandon Stewart versus Lynn Deladon. Like, their level of play are the reason why their teams are here at this moment. The award's not going to be announced to the 7th. I feel like it's definitely going to be a 1-2 vote for Defensive Player of the Year and MVP as well. I mean, like you said, this series has a chance to be special, and it's going to be interesting to see how they kind of outplay each other. You mentioned the injuries. That's going to be kind of my also concern. Now, Dearica Hamby suffered a knee contusion. I believe it was on the 9th. No, against Atlanta. And she hasn't played since the 9th. And I know she was expected to miss 2 to 4 weeks. Yes, Dearica Hamby struggled towards the end of the season because remember before the injury she was starting and they took out the lineup. Because again, I feel like the role that Dearica was given, I think she's more better when she comes off the bench, energy-wise. Now, Gabby Williams, we still don't really know how she suffered a concussion. in the game against the Mystics. I watched that game back and forth when the quarterback said she got hurt. I did not see anything at all. I don't know if this was just one of those imaginary like sniper. I don't know what it was. I didn't see nothing. I'm looking at my laptop, phone. I couldn't see anything in terms of the injury. So that's going to be another thing. And you said it, 3-point shooting. That's going to be the key as well. Both teams, we knew it was going to be a sweep with Phoenix and Las Vegas. I was expecting a much competitive series with Seattle and Washington, but the Mystics had other plans and had big fun. I'm gonna leave that one alone. Both offenses are capable of putting up as electric as both offenses are. They're both capable of putting up 100 or more points. It's ironic the big three for Seattle, Jewel, Brianna, Sue, have not lost a series while all three of them healthy since the 2018 championship run.
Stewie hasn't lost a series since 2017. I believe that's in the article as well.
Well, I'm just saying the big three when they're healthy together.
Yeah.
Like this Aces team, yes, have underperformed in the playoffs. I think this is a new Aces team, new system, and they have the hard court advantage. I'm going to say the Las Vegas Aces win in 5.
Guaranteed.
And
I was going to say, I'll tell you right now, if the Aces win this series, I'm staying off Twitter for at least a week. Oh my gosh, my timeline is going to be ridiculously flooded with especially if this goes 5 games, the MVP is going to be announced during that series. And I'm just going to stay off social media for like a week if the Aces win this series.
Oh man. No, I agree with that. So my only concern is just health. But I feel like the biggest question is, can Seattle beat Las Vegas? And that they have the capability, because Vegas does show sometimes of poor defensive habits. And even though I've asked Becky Hammond this question when they played the Mystics, they were here. She just preached defense, and they tend to go right back into those old habits. So we're going to transition to the next matchup: the Connecticut Sun versus the Chicago Sky. I'm gonna give you the floor. How are you feeling about this series?
Oh, I'm so excited! Yes. Okay. Listen. Last time I was on here, I said a pretty fun statement, and I went kind of bold here. And the greatest thing about time and just waiting to see if this can happen is you get to watch and see it happen. So last time I was here, I said if this series happens, if Connecticut and Chicago meet up, I said Chicago will sweep the Connecticut Sun, and this will only go 3 games. Well, we're here. It's today, Friday, August 26, 2022, and we have this matchup. It's going to be Chicago, and it's going to be Connecticut. And I'm excited about this series, and I'm excited to be here talking about this series because I am going to double down and say the Chicago Sky will take the Connecticut Sun to 3 games, and they will bring out the brooms from the closet in Illinois, and they will sweep the Connecticut Sun out of here.
Guaranteed.
I'm doubling down.
relationship with your
Oh
children.
my God. A sweep.
3 games.
Wow.
And listen, honestly, let's say I'm wrong. That's why they call it bold predictions. That's why they call them bold predictions.
That's
But
bold.
I am doubling down and saying I've had time to think about this. We recorded that video a few days ago when the first round was still going on. So I've had time to think about this. I am doubling down and saying the Chicago Sky will sweep the Connecticut Sun in 3 games.
You know what? Okay. That's interesting. Now, a couple things that you elegantly said that I will somewhat agree with. This is Connecticut's year. It's the same team that Connecticut faced last year. And I thought down the stretch, I thought a couple things happened. The 3-point shooting disappeared. And then on top of that, they really just were nowhere to be found painfully. And when you look at this team, they've had to deal with a couple things. They've had to deal with John Paul Jones, not the 2020 season, not there. Last year, Alyssa Thomas. Now this she came back and kind of, I think, took away the momentum. And then Jasmine Thomas was out. Now, when you look at this series, uh, my concern is, can you upset Connecticut in 4 games? And I can't see Connecticut doing that. Connecticut plays high level defense and they rebound the ball well. They did that in the second half of Game 3 against Dallas. Because if you saw, Alyssa Thomas kind of went on the bench and kind of went at them and saying they had to pick it up. Right now, this is a Connecticut Suns team. They force turnovers, contest shots, and they physically wore out Dallas. If that's one thing I saw, that's something that's going to be something offensively. Can Chicago handle? Can you handle their physicality? They did it last year, but this year I got to see it for myself.
Yeah,
Now,
oh,
go
sorry,
ahead.
go ahead.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, yeah, in all seriousness, much fun as that was, the thing I'm giving Chicago actually falls on Connecticut. Like we've said for years, like you said, this is a year, and I attribute that to we've said for so many years that Connecticut is fake. They're overrated. They're not for real. They're overrated. Because the championship feeling is there, whether it's through Connecticut fans or the players or the coaching staff or whatever. But the other fans don't see it. This is the series that they need to win. I don't care if they just need to get to the finals, because what that shows is, yes, we are for real. And how do we prove it to you? We just beat the defending champs. And they I believe it was Candace Parker said it in the middle of the season. It really struck me into how good they think they are. Yeah. She said last year they went 12-12 and they finished I believe 5th or 6th in the league in the regular season.
Yep.
That's what they did. They went 500 and they did that well. This year they were much better record-wise, and they felt that way. They said, we feel we are much better of a team than we were last year, and they won the championship.
Yep.
So that's what I'm taking away from Connecticut. Now on Chicago's side, this is where one of the reasons why I'm calling this a sweep is because of Dallas. They took away a game from Connecticut. A team like Connecticut, if you want to prove that you're real, you sweep Dallas and you just take care of them like Vegas did Phoenix and Seattle did Washington. That's why they're up there as like championship contending franchises every single year.
Don't you think Chicago? Don't you think New York did the same thing to Chicago? Shouldn't Chicago have swept New York?
Yes, that is a very good point. I think because Chicago won or lost the first game, and then they just hit a new gear ever since then. So that's a very good point. You can also attribute that to insanely good shooting, which I think we talked about the last time or one of the last times. That's how Seattle beat them. But what I was trying to say here, or what I was trying to point out here, was Dallas exposed Connecticut for Chicago to finish the job.
Okay.
So that's my reasoning behind this series choice, or behind this series score choice.
I definitely hear what you're saying. You know, when I look at the game 3, you know, I think Connecticut got the wake up call. I mean, Alyssa Thomas, we all know that you're starting 5 with Brianna Jones coming off the bench, or she's starting Jonquel, Alyssa. Like, they played well. That's not also. I gotta give her some love too. Dejanay Carrington was tremendous off the bench, and DeWanna Bonner. That's what you want in the star. It's going to be It's definitely going to be a tough matchup. Don't get me wrong. Let's not forget. Let's understand that. But like 2 of the 4 games, the last time they saw each other were decided by 1 possession. And one of those games had a 4-point difference on the scoreboard. So, like, I think mentally, like, I don't think sweeping your opponent gives you the edge. I just think you have to beat them. And I feel like that's what Connecticut's going to do. No disrespect, I need Courtney Williams to step up. This is what they paid her for. I mean, she 6 points a game against Dallas.
Skip. Good Lord, thank the good Lord I am on FCC airwaves. I thank the good Lord. It's hard to take, man. I don't understand it.
Like, I need more. I mean, Natisha Heidemann and Dejanay Carrington, like I said, they stepped up, and I think that's the key. Now, if Connecticut gets stops, Chicago shot 55.5%, and that's that sweep of Connecticut. No other team shot better than 47.5%, if I remember seeing that stat correctly. Now, it's interesting to know how Connecticut stayed close in those 4 games. All 3 of them were decided by 4 points or less. And painfully, Chicago still won. Now, this is the year that Kurt Miller and the Connecticut Sun have to get to at least the finals.
I'm going to reiterate my comments right here, right now. The clock is officially ticking. The honeymoon is over. Damn your feelings. Who gives a damn? You got a job to do. And the job ain't even a championship. It's to be respectable.
With that being said, the Connecticut Sun are going to beat the Chicago Sky in 4.
Guarantee.
I like that pick. I'm not gonna I'm not gonna go against that and say like, oh, you're wrong. If anyone were to do that, I think you would have done that with me. But I did want to point out, as much as I hate on Connecticut, I am a big fan of Courtney Williams, and I am a big fan of Dejanay Carrington. I am big fans of them. Um, I saw Courtney Williams play. I believe it was in the Wubble, if not last season. And I said she needs to get on a championship team because she wasn't going anywhere with Atlanta. So I was extremely happy that she got on Connecticut because I knew they were a championship contending team. They were a top team that was going to make the playoffs. Dejanay Carrington, when Baylor went on that amazing run, and she played her last season. I think they won the championship. I'm not sure. I believe they did, but she stuck out to me as an insanely good defender, and I'm super happy that she is getting this kind of playing time.
Yeah.
On this team, every time they played Seattle, I'm like, oh yeah, Courtney Williams, she's one of my favorites. Then Dejanay comes off the bench. I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. It sucks because two of my favorite players are playing against my favorite team. So as much as I hate Connecticut, I do love Courtney Williams and Dejanay Carrington.
Oh my goodness. Ladies and gentlemen, that is going to wrap it up. But before we get into that, ladies and gentlemen, be tuned in for future episodes. Myself, and Brenden will be back. We're most likely going to check in with you guys about game 3 of round 2 for both teams. And then you definitely want to see us both when we recap. We're going to preview the finals. Definitely, for sure. But what was your take of the first round?
Yeah, I mean, I want to say as advertised.
Yep.
I think we're pretty much we pretty much expected what transpired, like you said earlier. You expected these 4 teams to be in the second round. Maybe we were wrong about the series. I know you said you thought this Seattle series would go to 3 games, and I thought the same. But I am very, very happy and satisfied with this format. And the only thing that I would say is expand on it. Don't have to do it now. Just keep it in the cards for future seasons. But I definitely like where the WNBA is headed in this particular direction.
I definitely agree. I second those motions. Disappointments, Washington Mystics.
I play better. Period. And the great thing is it's right in front of us. It's right here, and we can fix it. It's right here. It's there, and we can run away with this thing. Do it. We got to do it. You know. If we don't score, tough to win. And I'll answer these same questions. Am I perplexed? Yeah, I am. We got to do better. And we got the pen. Reggie tells me all the time, we got the pen. We get to write the script the rest of the way. No one else can get in our way if we go play our game. And that's what we got to do. But we got to stop talking about it. We got to go do it.
As far as the performance of Game 3 by both the New York Liberty and the Dallas Wings.
These are legitimate questions. I don't have answers. I'm starving for answers. I'm starving for them because I don't have them. I'm so disgusted because I got to be out there at that game this Saturday. I got to see this. Inquiring minds want to know why. I truly do want to know why.
But as far as the other teams, Connecticut, Chicago, Las Vegas, and Seattle. I think the first round exceeded most expectations. I think probably the most disappointing one was Washington and Seattle. I would have liked to have seen Washington take at least game 2, but game 2 they just looked they just looked out of sorts. They had it in the first. I mean, I'm not going to get into it. I'm going to save that when we get to the Washington Mystics video, because I really took notes on that extra interview, and when Coach T has his, I'm not going to go off, but I'm going to get some things off my chest, because that was probably the most disappointing game 2 I've ever saw as a basketball fan. That really did piss me off. But it wasn't Seattle. It was just the lack of urgency. That's what got me. I'm sorry, Brandon.
Yeah, no, I was gonna point out something that I hadn't pointed out in my review, and it goes out to all 8 teams. It makes me so happy to see full stadiums for playoff games, especially for the WNBA. This game is growing. This game will continue to grow, and I'm very excited for the direction of growth of this league. And as Ari Chambers says, the WNBA is so important, and it is. She's exactly right. So that made me very happy to see all 8 teams have full stadiums, somewhat, for these playoff games.
Yep, I definitely agree. Ladies and gentlemen, that's going to conclude episode 7 of Big Nate Sports Talk Podcast. Thank you, Brenden. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate you joining me once again, and continue to do the great work that you're doing, not only for the W, but with school and other things like that. Definitely is a guy who knows his basketball. I'm glad we definitely connected, and we're both going to do great things. But closing message, Brenden, what is your closing message?
Yeah, man. Do something good. Do something good for someone. I on my way back from class today, I saw a kid trying to push his bike up the stairs, and he couldn't do it all by himself. So I'm like, you know what? I'm waiting for this crosswalk light. I'll help him out. So I turned around and helped him out and did a good deed, and he was very thankful. And I walked back to my place, and I had a really good feeling of doing something nice for someone. So just do something nice for someone this weekend.
I like that. I definitely like that. Like, big ups to you. Big ups to you for doing that. I kind of second those thoughts. Be kind. Make sure you look out for one another. Check on loved ones. But also to, take this opportunity to reflect. Just take this opportunity to reflect on what, from my faith, for what God has done for me and what He can do for you or anyone else. Just take the opportunity to just reflect and just be present. Just be present and be ready. Stay humble. Stay hungry. When I mean stay hungry, that means stay motivated. That's what Adam Jones, former baseball player, would say. # stay hungry. But yeah, man, just be ready to go. So that's my closing message. But with that being said, like I said, you're going to see us. We're going to check in game 3, both series. And then wherever the series goes, we're going to have our WNBA finals coverage. Definitely be tuned in for that. So, again, thank you all for tuning in. Please like, comment, subscribe, share the podcast. You can check me out on YouTube, Nathan Snell, also to Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Big Nate Sports Talk Podcast. I've also left Brendan's Twitter page where you can check out his work and you can follow him on Twitter. Brenden, thank you so much for being a part of the show again. Much appreciated. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to catch you on the flip side. Have a good night. Stay up. Peace.
Broke broken. Future, all the plans you made in your heart grew just to die. And now your damaged goods, damn it should have never been. Thought you were bulletproof, look at you, what happened? Did she hurt you? Are you okay, baby? Everyone gets hurt, that's how we learn to make love work. It's part of life, but if you need
Thank you for tuning in to Big Nate Sports Talk. If you enjoyed that episode and you want to see more content, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Bring your sports game on Big Nate Sports Talk.